I want to discourage the president from working so closely with the Charles and David Koch group. These are radical libertarians who have never supported Trump for president. They pushed for the criminal justice reform. They call it prison reform. We call it prison break. They are very weak on national security and funding our military. And they are pushing amnesty. And they are pushing hard. And I hope the dozens of millionaires who are part of that network are paying attention. Because nobody gets a pass here anymore. There's too much at stake. There's too much at stake. Now, the Kochs are pushing hard through their various organizations and staff for amnesty. They have an organization called the Libre Initiative, L-I-B-R-E Initiative, and they've been meeting at the White House. Mark Holden, who is one of the right-hand men of Charles Koch, he's been meeting at the White House. And these are people who are not conservatives. They're radical libertarians, in my view. It's my opinion. And so they're looking for comprehensive immigration reform. And I'm going to tell you something. If what comes out of this, a battle over the budget, the so-called government shutdown, the president running, this was his number one priority on border security and stemming the flow of illegal immigration into this country, and no amnesty, if he turns out being George W. Bush or Jeb Bush, he's going to lose a lot of his base. And I'm going to tell you, that's all that's out there. And it's a big base. It's a big base. I'm hoping he doesn't do this. I'm telling them right now, please don't do this. But the pressure's on. The Republicans in the Senate began buckling 3 weeks ago. When the Vice President of the United States met with them a few weeks ago, as I remember reading in the papers, he was trashed by a bunch of these Republicans who said this government shutdown is unacceptable. You got Rubio out there talking about that. You got this guy Portman out there, Lamar Alexander out there, Murkowski, Collins. I can go right down the list, but they're not the only ones. When the Democrats and the left push, the Republicans run. Run like cowards. And I would strongly discourage the president from embracing that point of view, because it could cost him the presidency, and even more. Even more. The rhinos and the Democrats, the left, will get what they've always wanted and what you've always fought over the last several decades. We do not have but a handful of fighters in the United States Senate on this. A handful. That's all we have. That's all we have. Tom Cotton is good on this. Mike Lee is good on this. I don't know who else, quite frankly.